Welcome to the latest edition of the Trail Times podcast by Big Bear Events. We are well, not live. I'm recording this from the Bat Challenge at Beacon Hill Country Park. We'll try and get as many little clips from the day and night. So this is our special event that we do that starts at 6 in the evening and then goes through till midnight. So I'm hoping it's going to stay like this. So the weather, well, that makes it look grey. The weather is beautiful. It's been sunny all day. Just really good running weather. The temperature will drop once the sun goes in, obviously. It's going to be dry though, so that's going to be good, which is always handy. I like it when it's dry because I don't have to dry the kit out, and it's nicer for the runners as well. But it's going to be a lovely day. It's really good doing these nighttime events. We get a different crowd to our normal events, which is nice. It's nice to introduce some new people. Because we start at 6 o'clock on a Friday night, it means that if you've got work, you can still come along and you can start later if you need to. But most people can get here for 6, maybe leave a bit earlier. We don't get that many people, to be honest, drive for more than an hour to our events. We get some, but a lot for within an hour. And yeah, sun's come out. You can see the sun on my face now, I think. And you can see our little start village HQ. So it's currently set up for registration, and we'll turn that round into an aid station once we get started. 3, 2, 1. Have fun, everybody! How are we getting on?
Oh, I'm doing great. Thank you very much.
What are you on, lap 3?
I've done 3.
Done 3.
4. The problem I've got now is I'll finish 4, but then I'm going to want to do a lap in the dark, a full one.
Well, yeah, okay, you won't get a full one in, but I don't think you'll get back with any light. I reckon we're looking now at that. I think you'll get to the top and it'll be very, very low light.
10 more minutes to sunset. Okay.
Yeah, and you'll be going through the woods on the way back down.
See, I'd like to do a full lap in the dark though, so I'm thinking, yeah, get round, see how our legs feel.
Yeah.
And this is mad, but it's also amazing.
Yeah, good man. Well done.
Thanks, Bob.
The beauty of the Bat Challenge is that we go into the night time as well. So it's getting dusky now. I think technically we've gone past sunset, and now we're getting the head torches coming in on each lap, which is pretty cool. It's always nice. Lots of people still out on the course as well, which is unexpected, to be honest, which is good. So we've got lots of people that are out there with head torches through the wooded section. Definitely need a head torch now. You'll be all right up on the top. I'm hoping the photographer has got some cracking photos of the sunset. If he has, I'll whack a few in this little gap here if you're watching on YouTube. We've got another 3 hours, I think, to go. So lots of runners still to finish, lots of medals still to give out, lots of fun at the Bat Challenge. I think you can just about see me. And can you see the lovely moon? Beautiful conditions here at Beacon Hill Country Park for the Bat Challenge. You can see we're all lit up at the aid station. Just had a handful of people just finishing, which is excellent. They've got their lap in the dark done. Really nice. Nobody turned up saying they wanted to run in the dark but didn't have a head torch. Everybody had their head torches. It's all good. Excellent day so far. And in the background, that's Marion doing an extra little lap because her watch doesn't say it's a half marathon, apparently. Trying to get the lighting to work. Doesn't work here. But Bat Challenge drawing to a close. Last few runners are out. We're getting absolutely attacked by these massive bugs called May bugs, doodle bugs, cockchafers. It's all the same thing, but they're huge. They look like cockroaches, and they're horrible. They're absolutely disgusting. Well done. Going all right? Well done. We're seeing the last few come in, but what a great day it's been. great day. The lighting here is awful. Yeah, I didn't get many chats with people, but I was having lots of good chats with people. Not on the camera, which is obviously useless to everybody else. But anyway, I'll do a bit of a roundup and I'll throw back to myself standing in the office. A little bit of a different way to start the podcast. Thought we'd just go straight into the event and see how it went. As you could see, as always, struggled to get loads of clips with people as they're going round. Did speak to Mitesh, who is one of the latest members of our Big Bear Brigade. His first event with us was the Trail Fest at Salty Forest. I think he did a half marathon, which I'm pretty sure was his first trail running event, and now he's hooked. I think he's booked in for nearly every event that is currently available on the website, which is excellent. So it appears that we've got a convert to trail and a convert to Big Bear events, which is always good. It's what I like to have. What you couldn't see at all from that footage was just the sheer number of people who were there at the Bat Challenge, who were brand new to Big Bear events, and I think quite a few people new to trail running as well. Lots of people doing their first nighttime trail events, which is excellent. So the Bat Challenge, if it wasn't clear, if you've got this far, hopefully it was clear. We start at 6 p.m. on a Friday night, and we then finish at midnight. So it means that you can do 2 or 3 laps in the daylight, which is good. You can get your set your bearings, as it were, get your bearings. And then there's a beautiful dusky lap, followed by however many laps you want to do in complete darkness. So Beacon Hill Country Park, out in the middle of nowhere really. I think there's what you'd probably call a village not too far away, but it's not as though it's a urban park at all. So there's no real lighting up there. The moon was quite small. That's a really bad way to technically describe a moon, but it wasn't a full moon, so you weren't getting light from the moon. So it's all down to your head torch, and where it's undercover anyway, even moonlight wouldn't help you in the forest that much. But it's great. I love it. I think it's a really good format as well to introduce people to trail running. It's also trail running at night, because you've got that security of having those people around you. You know what the lap is. You know that there's no one else really going to be out there apart from the other runners. And so hopefully people that were nervous or felt at all like there might be problems being out late at night, we sort of got rid of some of those worries. I spoke with a few people, and they did sort of get a bit worried about being out there at night, and I think they settled into it. And that's what you've got to do. You've just got to sort of go out there and face your fears. In terms of safety, it's as safe as you're going to be running at night in the woods, in my opinion. I'd rather run, I've said this multiple times, whether I said it on this I don't know, but I'd rather run out in the middle of nowhere in the woods in the dark than running through town in the dark. There's no pubs close, there's no reason to be there. The car parks close at 8 o'clock, so they close in the daytime. There's no one else going to be out there apart from other like-minded runners, but when there's an event on, there'll be people out there doing the event. So that was really good. I sort of, like I said, I spoke to a lot of people that were doing the furthest and the first things that they'd ever done. One guy specifically who was last to come in, I'm pretty sure it was Matthew Spalton, and he'd only ever done a half marathon before, and he did 9 laps, so that's 29.7 miles. So he's gone from doing a half marathon to then coming and running an ultra marathon in the dark, while running laps of Beacon Hill. And it is punchy. So Daniel Lawrence, who won, or who went the furthest, he did 11 laps, so that's 33 miles, and I think his watch recorded 5,000 feet of elevation. So 5,000 feet in just over 50k is punchy, especially for the middle of it, the Midlands, the middle of England. We don't often have courses that are that hilly, and there's nowhere on that course where it's sort of, you're not scrambling at all, right? None of it's steep, but effectively you're doing a mile uphill on every single lap. So if you do a mile uphill 11 times, your elevation's gonna creep up pretty quickly. But just all in all, a brilliant night out. And I alluded to it in the video of just how I was surprised that nobody had gone home. So we had 2 people go home within an hour, so they came and did 1 lap. But then after that, very few people left, sort of, who had done less than a half marathon. So they were out there for 3+ hours, quite a lot of people. Very few people had stopped at about the halfway point, whereas in most of our events, sort of, just the flow of people stopping was different. People really wanted to get out and do a lap in the dark, which is excellent. And some of the photos that were put on the Facebook group of the sunset were amazing. The photographer got some really great shots as well of people running and the sun setting and so on. But people just stopping and taking pictures with their camera or with their phones, like, it was beautiful. And we had the perfect weather for it. It was warm, but not overly so. So last Thursday had been the really hot day. Friday it started to cool down a little bit, and obviously by 6 p.m. in the evening, going into sort of later into the night, the temperature's just dropping all the time, but at no point did it get cold. So considering I'm standing around most of the night, I had shorts and a hoodie on, and I was a little bit chilly, but not too bad, which is just perfect. Really good. So this event will return next year. It will return the beginning of May, but I think not the bank holiday weekend. The weekend after, I think, is the plan. The only downside, and again I mentioned it in the clips, were these May bugs. Oh, they were awful. So coincidentally, one had landed on my patio the morning of the event, and my kids saw it in the morning. I was like, oh, it's a cockroach, because it looks cockroach-esque. It's got I should know the technical terms. I have a degree in this stuff. But anyway, it's sort of, its back was quite hard, like a shell. And to be honest, I don't know if I've seen a cockroach in real life. So they look similar. Anyway, they look similar if you're just looking at them. Anyway, so once it started to get dark and we'd got the lights on, these just massive bugs, they're about an inch long, if not a little bit wide, a little bit longer. And then obviously when they're flying and their wings are out, they're big things and they stick to your clothing, so you can't just brush it off. You have to properly flick them off to get rid of them. And I think once their head's set on going to the one bit of light they've seen, they will keep going to that bit of light until they are no longer. So it's a bit of a war zone down there for dead cockchafers, because they were getting everywhere and they were very much scaring, I'm going to say, all of the volunteers, because they were awful. And I think the runners were having to sort of run through them a little bit as well. So that was an odd thing. So they are called May bugs or cockchafers or doodle bugs, I think. So they come out in May. We've not done night events in May before. Maybe this is just a thing. When we've done the night events previously, they've been in June. So maybe they've all gone by that point. Or maybe Beacon Hill Country Park is where they all live and they've all come out on the same night to attack us. But that was genuinely terrifying at points and really freaked me out, because they were big and loud and they sort of just turned up from nowhere. But regardless of that, brilliant night, absolutely excellent. And there were just so many new faces as well. So obviously it's always nice to see familiar faces, and the whole business is built on seeing those familiar faces, because not only do they keep, sort of, without being too crass, keep bringing the money back in, they also set the tone of the event so that people around can see this is how we're meant to behave when we come to these events. These events aren't about trying to beat the person next to you and high levels of competition and ultra competitiveness. It's about enjoying it, having fun, and eating Jaffa cakes and chips at the aid station. So I like to have the regulars, but it was really nice to see so many people put their hand up and say they'd not done a Big Bear event before. So hopefully some of those will have enjoyed the event. You might even be watching now, and they'll come back and they'll run some of the daytime ones, or they might come and do a trail fest or whatever it is. And that's that's how you build a business. So that was great to see though, and Beacon Hill is definitely going to be featuring more. Well, I say more. It will keep featuring twice a year for the foreseeable. We'll do an event in the lead up to sort of spring marathon time, and we'll do this evening event as well. It's brilliant. The people there are great. Facilities are good. Course is excellent. Tick, 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 tick. Meets all the boxes. And we don't go into Leicestershire very often, and there is a big running community in Leicestershire. Being near Loughborough and being near the university is also a good thing. So it was really nice. There was Jude was running, and she had maybe 10 or so guys and girls that were there supporting her. They had pizzas brought in. They were standing there eating the pizza. She's doing half marathon. I'm not sure if it was her first. It might have been her first half marathon, but she's doing a half marathon, and they were cheering her over the line every time. They were cheering all the other people over the line every time, and it's nice. It's just nice to see different crowds coming to enjoy it. And I'm going to assume the people that were supporting, they hadn't seen events like that before either. I did question why, if you're going to the premier sports university in the country, you're, rather than eating pizzas, you're not out there running yourself, because I think they all do in sports-based degrees as well. But they were adamant they were there to support. But again, just lovely people doing nice things, and it's just good fun, and we like it at Beacon Hill. It's not too far away from Rugby as well, so we still get all our Coventry-based people as well going over, and just excellent. So in terms of what Big Bear Events has got coming up, the next Big Bear event is the Woodland Challenge in Rugby. I went out and filmed along the course, which is easy because it's about half a mile from my house, which is handy. So there's a video online now of the Great Central Way in Rugby and what's going on there, what you can expect. Really, really nice course. Really good to use in the middle of summer as well, because where it's a disused railway that's really, really well looked after. But it's in a bit of a valley, so it's always a couple of degrees colder down on the track, like on the actual course, than it is everywhere else. So if it's a nice hot summer's day, it will be brilliant, because you'll be a couple of degrees cooler and in quite a lot of shade for the majority of the day. It's not magic, right? So come like 1 or 2 in the afternoon, it will start to get quite hot down there. But it is really nice when you sort of want a slightly cooler run when it's really, really hot outside. So we're there, and then we go to the Otter Challenge at Kingsbury Water Park as well later on in June. So we've got those 2 6-hour events coming up. Obviously we've got Trail Fest coming up at Cannock Chase in September, so starting to put some stuff up around that as well. And then personally, I've got the North Downs Way 50, which I'm race directing with Centurion. That is a week on Saturday, so that then takes me out doing that. So that's a very intense but a really enjoyable day. Really sort of just a different scale working with Centurion, because there'll be 350-ish people doing 50 miles point to point on the North Downs Way. So there's a lot of moving parts with that, a lot of bits to sort out. So that sort of keeps me busy for the majority of the week beforehand as well, just sorting out last minute snafus as they come up. And then also Centurion stuff as well, the South Downs Way 50k, that's coming soon. So there's a lot of planning involved in that. That is a huge event. I don't know the numbers, but the South Downs Way 50k and the 100 combined are probably going to be getting close to one of the biggest sort of ultra events in the country, I think. It might not be the biggest. I'm not claiming that, but it's definitely up there in the top few. The Lakeland 50 weekend, or the Lakeland weekend's probably bigger, I think. But this is a big old event that requires a lot of planning, and the most important part of that planning is that I think I've secured an ice cream truck for the Friday night. So, you know, this is the sort of top level race directing that I get involved in, sorting out ice cream trucks and booking hotels. But that's going to be great. So that will keep me busy as well through June, along with everything else. But Big Bear Events going well, lots to keep going with, and lots to keep busy. And there's lots of little things that are happening in the background that hopefully will come to fruition, and you'll start to see coming out lots of the 2026 dates will start to be launched soon. So I'm assuming if you've got this far into this podcast or through YouTube, you're already signed up to the Very Important Bear mailing list, where you can get 20% off all of these events that are going to be getting launched in the next couple of weeks, month or so. If you're not, sign up now, get the money off, I should say. If your plans change closer to the event date, you can just transfer out, you can change to a different event. You don't lose your money as long as it's 7 days before the event. No excuses, no doctor's note, none of that. I'm not fussed. You do what you want to do. If you want to change your plans, then you can change your plans. And that is all I will leave you with. So slightly shorter than when we've done the recaps before, but hopefully all killer, no filler. And I will speak to you shortly. I'm not sure when the next one will come out, but once there's something more to say, I'll be back on here to say it. Thanks very much.